I'm Lacey Mauritz, and this is Cooking with Mother Goose, Taste the World. And while we go all around the world doing recipes for my book, China, Mexico, France, today I want to take you to where I'm from, the American South. We're going to teach you today how to cook barbecued pulled pork 3 different ways. One in the crock pot, one in the oven, and the other on your barbecue or outside grill. No sandwich is complete, no barbecue sandwich is complete without king coleslaw with fresh cabbage, carrot, and a secret ingredient, and on a brioche bun. Here's the recipe right here. The kids are going to help me today, so let's get started.
Hi, I'm Rex. Hi,
What's your name?
Axel.
Axel. Okay, good. I forgot for a second. Axel and Rex and I moved to Spain from Florida. Axel, can you guys show everyone at home where the United States is on the map and where is Florida? Most of our recipes today are going to come from this area, the southern part of the United States.
I circle it.
As you can see, boys, today we're going to make barbecue pulled pork, which is a classic American dish, juicy, sweet barbecue sauce that we're going to slow cook all day long.
How juicy is it?
It's going to be juicy. And then we'll have sandwiches, okay? So we're going to start this recipe now. We are going to cook pulled pork 3 ways, guys. One in the slow cooker, which is the way I like to do it. Set it and forget it. Start it in the morning and let it slow cook all day. But if you don't have a slow cooker at home, I'm going to show you how you can make this in the oven or on the barbecue. All right. First things first, let's make our sauce.
Yep.
Okay?
Barbecue sauce.
Good, barbecue sauce. Check. I like Cattleman's when we're in the United States because it's naturally gluten-free. They don't sell that here in Spain, so we're using this one we picked up from our butcher. Next,
Tomato
paste.
paste.
Good. So some tomato paste right here, common ingredient in every supermarket. I'll read this one. Apple cider vinegar. That's going to help our pork kind of that melt in your mouth texture. Okay. So now we're going to get some herbs and some spices. Paprika,
garlic powder, onion powder, mustard powder, cumin.
Great. And then of course, 3 to 4 pounds of boneless pork shoulder. Here in Spain they call that paleta de cerdo. All right, let's get to measuring. It's going to take us about 4 hours in the slow cooker. If this were frozen, I would put it in for longer. Well, let's find out exactly how many grams this weighs, okay? Also 0, meaning the beginning part. So when I set this empty bowl there, we know that that weight is accounted for.
Can I put it on?
Yeah, we're not going to worry about the plastic wrap or the...
It doesn't weigh.
It's juicy on the bottom. Or the... Put that on there. It is.
Wow.
Set that there. So...
Oh, wow. So 70. No.
So we passed the big, what does that big one stand for?
1 kilogram.
1 kilogram, that's right. That's 1,000 grams or about 2.2 pounds if you're at home in the United States. And then we passed the
100.
600.
So it's 7.
It's in between 600 and
700.
800. So we're gonna, this is a beautiful piece of meat. See that? So I'm gonna put this in with the fattier side towards the top so that it all melts down into the meat. But first, you want to get a look at this. I'm going to put it in. Can you see?
Yeah, I can.
And then I'm going to turn it over
I see.
so it gets totally coated in the sauce. Slow cook. It's on high. It defaults to 4 hours, so that's kind of perfect. Like I said, because it's already defrosted, it may cook quicker. So we'll probably check it in about 3 hours and just see. And so I'm going to lock it and push start. And that's it. So if you're doing your pulled pork in the slow cooker, you're done. Well, and let me show you now if we were going to do it in the oven. Pork. Keep those juices in. So the slow cooking process. So I've got my oven set at about 150 Celsius, somewhere around that 300 mark. Okay, wrap this up nice and good. I'm going to just put this in. And here I'm I'm just gonna set it, I'm gonna set this for about 2 hours, and then I'm gonna turn it around, and I'm gonna cook it for another 2. I've showed you how to do it in the slow cooker, also in the oven. Now we're going to show you how to do it on your barbecue. We've got a green egg. Todd has, this is the slowest way of the 3. Got the temperature down to 300 or about 150 Celsius. And Todd, do you want to tell us what you've done in here?
Yeah, so what we've done is we put all the coals onto one side of the barbecue here. We are going to put the meat on the other side.
The side without the coals?
Yep.
All right.
This is going to cook and create smoke inside, so we're going to smoke it slowly for 3.5 hours this way.
See it from the top?
Yep. And every half an hour, we're going to come back and add some more sauce to the top of it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so I've just taken our oven cooked pulled pork out, or pork rather. I'll show you. I'm going to just unwrap it slowly because it's going to have some juices in there. So when you cook it low and slow, low temperature a long time, once you take it out, your aluminum foil cools off pretty quick. So you can see I can touch this without burning my fingers. That doesn't mean that the meat inside isn't hot. So here's just a portion of it that I've taken out to show you. So look at all those juices. So we're just gonna let this sit for a minute before we pull it, okay? Because right now it's gonna be too hot. So let this sit for about 10-15 minutes. And while we do that, boys, I'll get you in here. We're gonna make the, what's the salad that goes in our pulled pork?
Coleslaw.
Coleslaw, all right.
Here.
That's right.
Right here.
So, for you guys at home, we're cooking with Mother Goose. Why do we say cooking with Mother Goose? Okay, that's the name of the cookbook. Because every recipe is based on a nursery rhyme. So, you might be familiar with this one. Old King Cole was a merry old soul. A merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers 3. And he called for his fiddlers 3. Every fiddler, he had a fiddle. And a very fine fiddle had he. Oh, there's none so rare as that can compare King Cole and his fiddlers 3. I love nursery rhymes because they help us develop our sounds and tongues. Leave that meat alone. And here, for King Cole, is some coleslaw. So we're going to make this up right now while our meat cools. So, let me go ahead and get the ingredients out. So to go with our pulled pork, we're going to make some coleslaw. This is something you can add to your sandwiches, or you can have as a side. I consider coleslaw a gateway salad for kids because it's finely chopped and it's so easy to eat, and it's a little bit sweet, and it makes them more interested in salad. So if you have a child at home that is not so sure about veggies, I highly recommend this recipe. So what we're going to do first is just make the dressing. So it's always make your dressing first. Why? Because you want those flavors and stuff to engage and marry, and you want your sugar to dissolve. And so it says about 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. I've been doing this for a long time, so I know that that looks about like 2 big old spoonfuls. And one thing to be aware of is that cabbage, which is going to be part of our salad, purple and green, and then the carrots, those are going to release water over time, so actually you can make this a day ahead. So don't be worried if you feel like there's not enough dressing. It will actually increase in volume over time. So just some sugar, we just need about 2 tablespoons. So 1, 2, another really easy and forgiving recipe. If you get a little bit too much or a little bit too little, not a big deal. I'm gonna let the kids whisk this. Then we just have some black pepper. You can use white pepper also if pepper freaks your kids out and they think it's too spicy. Sometimes my children, even though it doesn't taste spicy, will complain when they see pepper. And some garlic powder. So this can be about a teaspoon of both, but you just use your own taste buds as a guide. I'm just going to give this a quick stir. You'll notice here that I'm actually using one of the children's whisks. I've got a lot of kid-size equipment in the kitchen because it makes it easier for their little hands to engage. So if you're at home and you're whisking, we're just trying to mix this up so it's nice and smooth. Right? I've always got one hand on the bowl and one hand on my whisk. That way I don't whisk it off. Then last ingredient here, white vinegar. This is a 1/4 cup. Vinegar is one of those things where a little bit can go a long way. So we are going to measure this. Let me grab my measuring cup. That's about 1/4 cup. So just your basic white vinegar.
Yes.
Supermarket. But this is just going to be liquidy and smooth. Now I'm not adding any salt to this because children don't need a lot of added salt in their diet. They don't really need any. We get enough of it in some other processed foods that we eat. And of course, like our barbecue sauce and some of the stuff that's in our meat is going to have salt. If you adults at home want some salt, I highly recommend waiting until everything is in there, it's all mixed up, and then right before you eat it, that's when you add your salt, because that's when you're really going to taste it. Otherwise, it just disappears. So, okay, so here's our dressing. Okay, boys, it's time to cut up some cabbage for coleslaw. You ready? Great. That's very nice and safe, isn't it? Now, you can eat your carrot peel if you want, but you don't have to. So it's totally up to you, but it's a really fun thing
If
to
you're
do.
hungry enough, you can eat it.
Okay, so that's nice and peeled. Then we're gonna, I'll get this stuff out of the way in a minute. Why don't you peel this one, and then we can grate the carrot. Alright. I don't know if our friends at home can see you do it, but yeah. Excellent. So. I'm going to gently put that in, but don't stir it around yet because that purple of the cabbage. Alright. Hear that? Raw cabbage tastes like candy. Literally.
Literally.
Alright. Take our white cabbage, put it in, so now we've got these 3 colors going. Whoops.
Almost put the pan.
That would be no fun. Alright. So far we've just measured and peeled and chopped, right? And stirred up the dressing. Now, I like to add at home for a little tarty sweetness, some green apple. So this is something that's fun to teach the kids. So we've just grated the vegetables and we've done some rough chopping, okay? So this is just your basic chopping, nothing really specific. When I cut an apple, I do this every time. I just make a square around the core. That way, I always have flat edges to work with. It's safer. Round things are hard to cut. They roll, and that's how people can get it cut. So then, we're just going to turn this round apple into more of a rectangle, and of course, it doesn't roll around, okay? And you don't have to do this. This is just fun. So the boys are out there setting the table. It's a beautiful spring day here in Marbella, Spain, or as I might say, in the southern USA, where we are visiting today with Mother Goose. So we are setting the table for some pulled pork sliders for lunch.
All right. Ready?